All right, welcome to the Super Regional Preview with Chris Muller. We're going to talk about Game 1 of the Ole Miss Arizona series, set to have first pitch at 8 o'clock tonight Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. I say Eastern Time because that's the zone I'm in. But first, before we get started, I do want to tell you about the Vault Society. That is the big push by the Ole Miss Athletics Foundation. It's a 5-year commitment to support, and membership starts at $5,000 a year. There's a benefit chart on the site. We'll give you that in just a second. All gifts to Ole Miss between now and June 30th will receive triple points. Red points are non-deductible and go towards priority seating. Blue points are 90% tax deductible and go towards parking and non-home ticketed games. That'd be postseason bowl games and neutral site, etc. If you have any questions about that, go to give2athletics.com. That is give2athletics.com. We got Chris Muller in the house, on the ground in Tucson. He might be at the airport right now, but he's in Tucson. How you doing, Chris? Chris?
Good. Haven't gotten to Tucson yet, but really excited to make the trip today. I'm actually live in Houston at Hobby Airport, so if you see any planes in the background, that's what's going on here. But super excited about the Rebs tonight. Great opportunity for us to to get halfway to punching a ticket to Omaha this evening, and then finish the job hopefully tomorrow, right? And just have Sunday off and Derek Diamond tonight going for us. Really not a surprise after last week when he went on Friday night and Doug went on Saturday. Derek got the no decision against Southern Miss, SEMO last week. 4 and a third innings, 1 earned run. So he had a real happy for Derek. On the season, 71 and a third innings pitched, 81 strikeouts, 5.5 ERA. Matches up really nicely with the Arizona starter. Diamond started 13 games, so really quality pitcher that I think we have a really good opportunity to do a lot with. From the Arizona perspective, obviously they're the 5 seed, Pac-12 champions, led by Coach Jay Johnson. He's the Pac-12 coach of the year. I believe he's been at Arizona for around 5 years now. An interesting tidbit that I found: only 2 Pac-12 teams are competing in the Super Regionals this weekend. That's compared to 6 from the SEC. So a little bit of a tidbit there. The Arizona starter has not been announced, but we expect it to be righty Chase Silsa. He's a Pac-12 all-conference pitcher. He can hit 96 on the gun. Has got an 8-1 record and a 5.53 ERA. So, like I said, matches up really comparably with what we have going on our end in
Yeah.
Diamond.
Yeah, we've said for weeks now that this Ole Miss team thrives on velocity, so I'm not afraid of somebody hitting 96 on the gun because they see it quite frequently. That's a that's kind of a Friday night SEC thing.
It absolutely is, and when we talk about having defeated Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter, I don't know that anybody on the mound really scares our guys, and so that's really a compliment to them. Silseth only went 3 innings, allowing 9 hits and 4 runs, so he's absolutely. We can get after him a little bit, and we got to get after him early to get his pitch count up quite a bit. From a hitting perspective on our end, a guy I want to just single out from a really positive standpoint was Peyton Chatagnier. He changed. So I watched the tape on Tuesday night when I got home from the Oxford Regional, and he's changed his batting stance a little bit. So he doesn't get in the box and do the shimmy anymore, it doesn't look like. And I know he doesn't do the bow and arrow thing anymore. So I'm interested to know what happened with that. But he did go 4 for 15 in the regional with 2 home runs. So the run production obviously has gotten a lot better. So I'm really happy for him. We do need a lot of run production, literally from everybody up and down the lineup. So, I hope we get that. From a team perspective, the Wildcats have their freshman of the year, 5 all-conference selectees, 2 all-conference defensive team selectees, and 3 honorable mention selectees. They've got 4 guys that hit over 350, which is I asked Mike last night what kept him up the last couple nights about Arizona, and he goes, all those guys hitting over 350 really scare me a lot. So, the lineup's really tough. They've got a lot of great hitters. Their third baseman, Tony Bullard, has hit 542 over the last 6 games with a .208 slugging percentage. So obviously the guy's hitting the ball really, really well. He's had two doubles, a triple, four home runs, 11 RBIs. So, that guy's really hot for them right now. Their center fielder has four consecutive on base streaks, a 44, excuse me, consecutive on base game streak. That's kind of cool. But I mean, Kevin Graham said, "Hold my beer, watch this."
Yeah, the more I think about this game and this series and this ballpark, is I think it's going to be a game about who can expand space and who can take away space in the outfield. If they're playing the shift, you want to go to the other gap potentially. There's certain things you can do. So if we can hit the gaps, we have a pretty good chance this weekend.
I think we have a really, really good chance. I mean, I think our hitters can go, like I said earlier, if we can go up against Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter and come out with victories, we can literally go up against anybody and come out with a victory. It's just a matter of whether we get the timely hit, whether we're able to chain things together, and do that. Another guy that is of interest is their home run leader, their DH Jacob Berry. He's got 15 home runs, and also they have five players with double-digit doubles. So, those guys can really hit the ball. So I really wouldn't worry too much about them hitting the ball and putting a few runs on the board. I think it's going to be a game of attrition, and we all know that our bullpen is not, our guys can really perform really well at times, but there's some question marks sometimes when we get into our bullpen. But I look for our bullpen to come out really, really strong again this week.
Yeah, if we can come out game one in this preview and get the W, we have Doug going tomorrow to slam the door. So that's a chance to go to Omaha with our best guy on the hill. So it's really lining up to where if we win the game tonight, it's kind of stacked in our favor.
If we win the game tonight, I put us at 80% to win the whole thing, and it may even be higher than that. Doug, I think was 11-2 right now, and so if you just say, okay, let's roll the dice or let's put 13 chips in a bag and pull out just one, 11 times out of 13 we're coming out ahead. So I'll take those odds any day of the week. The Arizona closer is a guy named Vince Vanelli. He's their closer. 8 saves, 5-2, 23 appearances in a 2.73 ERA. So look for him to get into the game late for Arizona.
Is he a swing and miss guy like we see a lot in the SEC?
I would assume he is. Not totally sure. But I put our closer up against anybody's closer in America. I'll go to war with Taylor Broadway every single time, and literally I'd go to war, in not to use a military reference, and in all due respect to our men and women in the armed services, but I'd go to battle with any of these young men that we have on our team and stand right beside them.
Yeah, they faced so much and overcame so much this year that A, it's nice for them to get this reward, and B, there's nobody should be counting them out at any point.
No, and I think that I'm very hopeful that they've got their eyes on the prize. The prize is not in Arizona this weekend. We all know where the prize is, and we get two W's, and we're it's Omaha, and there's not much more that can be said about that. Kendall Rogers had an interesting exchange with a person on Twitter. I don't know if it was a male or female person. We'll just assume it's a male, and there was some back and forth about Bianco, and Kendall Rogers said, yeah, Mike Bianco is such a bad coach that he's got his team within 2 wins of Omaha this weekend. So another guy that, our field general is definitely somebody that I think a whole lot of.
Yeah, and it should be good. And again, we talk about it as a very big part, but it doesn't seem like Mike Bianco is too phased by that.
It doesn't. Mike was really loose last night in his post-practice interview, so obviously, a little bit nervous just because of the stakes that are on the line, but really, really loose, really thoughtful in his answers. was, a couple of the Arizona people asked about the whole Drew Mike connection with LSU and everything else like that, and I thought he handled that really really well. So I think the whole team, they've just got a loose environment and a loose atmosphere, and I hope that continues this weekend. I think if it does, if they don't let the moment get too big for them, I think they can do really really well this weekend.
All right, Ole Miss versus Arizona, first pitch, 8 o'clock Central Time tonight on ESPNU. For Chris Muller, I'm Stephen Willis. Enjoy the game, and of course, hotty toddy.
Howdy toddy.